Good morning, children. Today we are going to study the second lesson of a history, that is a lesson number 2, cultural heritage of India, traditional handicraft and fine arts. Handicraft means an activity that needs a skill with the hands as well as artistic ability. Fine arts means an activity inquiring great skill or accomplishment. Today, we are going to discuss the following points. First one is types of heritage. In that clay work, art of weaving and embroidery. Types of heritage. You have studied in the last lesson what is meant by heritage. Whatever is inherited from generation to generation is called a heritage. We have also studied in that lesson there are two types of heritage, natural heritage and cultural or man-made heritage. Natural heritage means the result of a close relationship between nature, environment, and human life is called natural heritage. Cultural heritage means whatever man obtains or creates with his intellect or skill. Natural heritage, we have studied the examples that whatever made by nature, rivers, ponds, lakes, animals, etc. Cultural heritage also you have studied that idols, palaces, then that viharas, chaityas, etc. So in this lesson you are going to study two more types of heritage, that is a genetic heritage. Genetic heritage means that a child inherits physical and mental characteristics by birth. That a child is getting from his parents physical characteristics means he looks like that of his father, mother, etc. His face is like that of a father, mother. Height is like that of a father, mother. Mental characteristics means that he is getting some of intellectual qualities from his parents, that he is getting from birth. That is a genetic inheritance. So whatever physical and mental characteristics a child get from his parents by birth is called a genetic heritage. Then second one is a material heritage, that a house, a land, other types of property that we are getting from our ancestors. Ancestors means forefathers. Your father is getting that your grandfather's house, then property, wealth, asset, etc. That is called a material heritage. You are getting the house of your parents. That is also that is a material heritage. Then cultural heritage already studied, whatever man obtains or that creates with his intellect and skill. Then in the same manner, traditions, customs, rituals, and special types of life style adopted by our ancestors is also known as a cultural heritage. In addition, other matters like education, farming, trade, rules and regulations for daily life, festivals, entertainment, art and handicraft, belief and skills, they are also included in cultural heritage. India, being one of the ancient countries of the world, has its best tradition, social values, customs and a family system. So it is our duty to preserve our cultural heritage. There are references of 64 arts in our ancient literature. So how many arts are mentioned in our ancient literature? 64. They are handicraft, that workmanship, that is a skills, kasab, then art, drawing, music, dramatic, art and dance, etc. Our ancient currencies also were valuable. So ancient currency was valuable. Now American dollar is more valuable. In ancient time, Indian currency was more valuable. Prosperity of India was main attraction for visitors to attack India. That you have studied in 9th standard. India was known as the land of a golden bird. So Nekichiria. That was why that foreigners came and attacked our country from Portuguese to British, and the British established their rule in India. And for nearly about 200, 300 years, India was under the rule of British. Then today, the education of yoga has been considered as a part of cultural heritage. So besides this, yoga is also considered as a part of a cultural heritage, and which has been accepted by the whole world. Consequently, 21st June is celebrated as a World Yoga Day. So which day is celebrated as that World Yoga Day? That 21st June, and the whole world. In this chapter, we are going to study about different handicrafts and fine arts of India. that a beauty of Indian cultural heritage is lying in its traditional art of artisans. So those who are making the things with their hands, they are known as artisans. They have skillfully developed a varied lifestyle of people through their remarkable art and handicraft industry. Weaving. So in this lesson, you are going to study about all these things. The handicraft of India, clay work, weaving, metal work, embroidery, leather work, jewelry work, then jerry work, akik work, and wood work. Then clay work. In the board exam, they have asked that write a short note on clay work. So there is a close relationship between man and clay. That means from our birth till our death, the whole life of man revolves around revolves around it. So that from cradle to grave means we are born on the earth. And earth is earth cradle means Jula saying where it is keeping on the earth. Then grey means after our death, our body is also burying in that earth, means on the clay. So we can say that there is a close relationship between man and that clay since means from his birth till his death. And before the invention of metal, that clay things were used. It is believed that copper was the first metal discovered by man. So before that, everything, each and everything is making with the help of clay. Now we are using iron, that means that wood, etc., for making the things. So before the invention of this metal, that clay things were used. Then toys, Kilona saying no, that pots, pitchers means that long pots that is used for keeping that storing milk, ghee, curd, buttermilk, etc. Then earthen lamps, Diya saying that then clay stove also made of clay. In villages now also we can see that clay stove, clay wares, clay utensils, and they were means all these things were made by the potter. You must have seen they are potters are with their device, they are making all these things. So which were the things which are made of which are the things which are made of clay work? Toys, pots, pictures, earthen lamps, clay stove, clay wares, etc. Then pots and pictures, for what purpose they are using? For storing milk, ghee, curd, and buttermilk. And all this clay work was made by the potters. And in ancient time, the walls of the houses and kubas. Kubas means a small huts. They were also plastered by the paste of a cow dung and clay. Now we are means that plastering with the different types of plastering with the different types of paints. In ancient time, that even the walls of the houses and the kubas were plastered by the paste of a cow dung and clay. We got a clay utensils from Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. So we can get like this clay utensils used by ancient man from that Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. India was also famous for making that baked and unbaked clay. Unbaked clay is known as a terracotta. And this type of utensils, they were also found from Nagarjun Konda in South India and Laknaj in Mehsana district. I also showed that Ganpati made of a clay, that below this. The next one is the art of weaving. The art of making long threads by using small pieces of cotton from cotton balls and joining them together is called the art of spinning. So what is meant by art of spinning? The art of making long threads using small pieces of cotton from cotton balls and joining them together is called that spinning. And we all very well know that Gandhiji has given this weaving a special importance as a cottage industry, and joined it with the Swadeshi movement to make us self-reliant under the banner of a freedom movement. So which has created a new history. So what is meant by weaving? The art of making long threads using small pieces of cotton from cotton balls and joining them together is called the art of spinning. So who was famous, who had given it a special status? That Gandhiji. And it is connected with which movement of India? That is Swadeshi movement of freedom movement. The next one is hand weaving. Hand weaving was a fine art form since ancient time. That since ancient time, that clothes were made with the hands, and that Dhaka. Now it is the capital of Bangladesh. It was famous for a fine muslin, and it was known as a Dhaka. And it means a speciality of this Dhaka is that it could pass through a small ring and could be adjusted in a matchbox. That Dhaka, it is a type of sari and it is a 5.5 meters sari. And what is the speciality? We can fold it and keep it in a matchbox, and even through our rings it could pass through. Then that Kashmir was famous for this hand woven carpet. Carpet means spreading on the floors. And India was also famous for saris like Patola of Patan. Patan was in Mehsana district, Patan is there. So Patan was famous for Patola. Then Banarasi and Kanjivaram saris. They were hand woven and have that fine quality of a textile. And then during the means Gujarat was ruled by a Solangi king called Siddharaj Singh. So during his time, he had invited large number of weavers from Iran, and they came and settled in Patan, and they made the city Patan famous for its patola work. And this art of making patola is 850 years old. Only very few people are knowing the skill of making patola, and it is very complicated and time consuming. In order to make one sari, it will take near about 1 year. They are completely making the sari with the hands. And it is also known as this patola sari is also known as a wavered ikta. Wavered means both, and ikta means weaving. So what is the speciality of this sari? It could means we can wear this sari on both sides. And it is durable, lasting for a very long time, and its original color remain intact. That means its color never fades. Even though that cloth is torn, then also its color remains the same. So what you will write about hand weaving? Hand weaving was a fine art form since ancient time, and Dhaka of Bangladesh. Before independence, that Dhaka was also a part of India. So this Dhaka, now it is the capital of Bangladesh. So Dhaka was famous for which sari is a Dhaka, and this means what is the speciality of this Dhaka? It could pass through a ring and could be adjusted in a matchbox. Kashmir was famous for that carpet, and that also carpet they made with the hands. Then Gujarat was famous. Which saris were famous since ancient time? That Patola of Patan, Banarasi and Kanjivaram saris. They were famous in India. Then about this art of making, that patola is how many years old? 850 years old. And during the means Gujarat was ruled by Solangi king. What is the name of that Solangi king? Siddharaj Singh. And during his time, he had invited large number of weavers from Iran. So these people came in Patan, and it is situated in Mehsana district, and made the town famous by producing that patola. Making patola sari is a very complicated and time consuming. What is the other name of a patola? It is known as a wavered ikta. Wavered means both, and ikta means weaving. This type of sari is made in such a way that we can wear it on both the sides. It is durable, and its original color remains intact. Then art of embroidery. The work embroidery has seen on the clothes of idols and that statues which were found during the excavation of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. So many idols and statues were found from Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. And during that excavation work, they found many idols and statues, and the clothes of that idols and statues, they were made of in that cloth we can find that embroidery. The art of weaving on the clothes of men, women, and children is very famous from ancient time. So the art of weaving on the clothes of men, women, and children were very famous during the ancient time. This art of embroidery was seen on the clothes of men, women, and children in Sindh, Saurashtra, Kutch region at the time of Indus Valley civilization. So this type of wearing that embroidered clothes, we can find the clothes of men, women, and children. The means their remains were found from Sindh, that Saurashtra and Kutch regions, and during the time of that Indus Valley civilization. Similarly, Kashmiri kasab work of Kashmir is also famous. Kasab work means golden stripes on the saris. Kashmir was famous for that kasab work. Apart from embroidery, that Bandhani of Gujarat also was famous for making the Bandhani. So in Gujarat, Jamnagar, Jaipur, Bhuj and Mandvi are famous for that Bandhani. Means a traditional style of Bandhani with its luster and due to the beautiful designs of elephant puppet, dice and picture is very popular today. You know that Bandhani it had different designs on the clothes. Mostly that dice, elephant, puppet, then that picture, etc. Cottage industry was taken over by the women of Kutch and Saurashtra regions of Gujarat. The traditional art of embroidery, toran, chakra, pillow cover, bed sheets, shak, todalia, clothes like a kedia is well known even today.